Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs and their need to win the Atlantic Division. Before we start, please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new. Now let's talk about Toronto. And the Maple Leafs have been one of the most consistent teams in the regular season since the 2016-17 year, and why all of a sudden would it matter for them to win the Atlantic Division? It's simple really, they can't have another first round exit, and avoiding teams like the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be huge for them in order to have a more appealing matchup for them in the first round. I know, some of you who are probably more brazen Leafs fans will say, who cares if we play Tampa Bay? They are not as good as in years past. To some extent, yes, they are not as good. They've lost a lot of guys due to salary cap issues and the expansion draft. But don't be mistaken here, this is still a very good team. They've battled injuries like crazy all year. And you don't have to want to run into this team that is very experienced, has won multiple titles, and wants to keep the good times rolling. Looking for the first three-peat since the 1980s. Islanders won 4 in a row from 80 to 83. So, would you really want to play Florida more? Would that be more appealing? Not really. The Florida Panthers have been one of the best and hottest teams in the league this season. They currently sit 4th in the overall league standings, and they sure look like a top 3, team in the league at times, and they will definitely finish top 3 in the division, considering they're well on their way to a 100-plus point season, actually on pace for 117 right now. They also have the second best expected goals for in the league, and they are outperforming that total while having the 9th best shooting percentage in that time. Pair that with a bounce-back year from goalie Sergei Bobrovsky. They're going to be a problem to deal with. There are also some other things to consider here as well. Alexander Barkov, easily one of the best offensive players in the league when he is on his game, is having a bit of a down year. Who's to say he doesn't get hot come playoff time? Then you have to look at, okay, maybe Sergei Bobrovsky falters in the playoffs. Well, they might have Spencer Knight, their first-round pick, and he might get back to that playoff form from last year. That would be the last thing Toronto needed, especially after faltering against Montreal and then losing to a young goalie this year if that was to happen in the postseason. So as you can see, winning the division would likely be the best thing for the Leafs and Leafs Nations, as they would get paired against a wildcard team, and while that poses a problem in and of itself because the Metro is stacked, it's still probably better than being paired up with those two Florida teams. If I'm being honest though, Toronto winning the Atlantic also probably means they would secure the best record in the East. Again, the Metro is very, very good, which means that they'll probably infight and then hurt each other in the standings, whereas Toronto gets to play Ottawa, Montreal, Buffalo. That would be able to boost them in the standings, and that would be huge for the Leafs because they would probably end up facing either the Red Wings or the Bruins if current standings hold. Facing Detroit would be the most ideal because it's almost a guaranteed win. While this young Red Wings team is very good and promising, they should not be there yet. They should not be ready to take down a Maple Leafs team that has this much experience in the regular season, in the playoffs as well. And I know some people will say, well, they haven't had a ton of success in the playoffs. You're right, but they have playoff experience, which is better than, I don't even know if there's a few players on the Red Wings that would have playoff experience, but nowhere near to the level that the Maple Leafs have in terms of number of guys that have played in the playoffs and the amount of games that they have played. So yeah, then you would say, okay, well that'd be a good matchup. What about Boston? Not as good of a matchup considering the past and the history, but it would give Toronto a chance to exercise a lot of playoff demons that they've had over this current era. They lost to the Bruins in 2 playoff series a few years back. Well, it's probably been about almost 5 years ago, but still, that would be huge for them. You look at Toronto, they have had such a big history against Boston, one of their hated rivals, if not their biggest rival, you could argue. They would love to get a chance to get some revenge against this team and avenge those old playoff losses, especially for their fan base, who has really been struggling because they haven't won a playoff series since 2004. For now, they will have to wait and see how the season goes because it really doesn't matter who Toronto faces in the first round because they are still expected to win a round regardless of who they play. And I know a lot of people have been saying this for a while now, but I'm actually buying into the thought processes here that if they get knocked out in the first round, they'll move one of the core 4 from this lineup, probably being Marner or Nylander. And while I do get that this team is easily capable of winning multiple playoff rounds, maybe even a Stanley Cup if they got hot, they would have to make some type of move if they lost in the first round again, because it would be another disappointing year. I'm just not sure what that change would be. Would it be the core 4 or would it be somebody else? Maybe add some more depth. I don't know what you do here because they are a team that can win their division. They won the North Division last year, and they are a team that is in the hunt of a very top-heavy Atlantic Division, and we'll have to see how it goes. Clearly, though, winning their division would make things a lot easier in avoiding all of this, and who knows if you get on a run. Maybe you get past that first round. They can get all of those demons from the past off their shoulders. These guys are experienced, and they are guys that have been there for a minute, want to get this off their back, and they want to go forward and create a great legacy for them in Toronto. We'll have to see how it goes. Do you think that Toronto needs to win the Atlantic in order to win in the playoffs, or are they going to be fine? Could they get past Tampa Bay? Could they get past Florida in the first round? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and join the channel by subscribing, watching more of my content. Thank you so much. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. You go love hockey, all right? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.